Good evening. We interrupt this program with urgent breaking news from Westminster. Moments ago, the Royal Office confirmed that King Henry IV has died, passing earlier today at the age of 45. While the official statement cites natural causes, the news has already sparked violent unrest in cities across the realm.
Live images now show angry mobs in London's East End, clashing with riot police, overturning vehicles and setting cars and storefronts on fire. Protesters chant against rising taxes, failed wars abroad, and what they call a kingdom without a future.
The late King's son, Prince Henry, known for his controversial nightlife and frequenting of taverns, is now King Henry V. The announcement has drawn mixed reactions from public and political commentators.
Your Majesty, it's time.
Some call him charismatic and ready to lead, while others openly question if he is prepared for the weight of the crown in these dangerous times. Parliament is urging calm, but analysts warn the power transition could deepen divisions in the realm.
Foreign leaders are yet to issue their statements, and with tensions already running high on the French border, many are asking, will the young king rise to the challenge, or will England's enemies seize this moment of weakness? We'll continue to monitor this developing story. Stay with us for updates.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold this swelling scene. Then should the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars, and at his heels, leashed in like hounds, should famine, sword, and fire crouch for employment. But pardon and gentles all the flat, unraised spirits that would dare on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object. Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France? Or might we cram within this wooden O the very casks that did affright the air, and as you call, oh, pardon, since a crooked figure may attest in little place Ilium, and let us ciphers to this great occult on your imaginary forces work. Suppose within the girdle of these walls are now confined two mighty monarchies, whose high upreared and abutting fronts the perilous narrow ocean parts asunder. Piece out our imperfections with your thoughts into 1,000 parts, divide one man, and make imaginary puissance. Think, when we talk of horses, that you see them printing their proud hoofs in the receiving earth. For 'tis your thoughts that must now deck our kings, carry them here and there, jumping all times, turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass, for the which supply admit me chorus to this history. O prologue like your humble patience pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge. Our play!
My lord, I'll tell you that same bill is urged.
But how, my lord, shall we resist it now?
It must be thought on.
This would drink deep.
'Twould drink the cup and all.
But what prevention?
The king is full of grace and fair regard.
And a true love of the Holy Church?
The courses of his youth promise it not. The breath no sooner left his father's body, but that his wildness mortified in him seemed to die too.
We are blessed in the change, but, my good lord, how now for the negation of this bill, urged by the Commons? Doth his majesty incline to it, or no?
He seems indifferent, save that there was not time enough to hear, as I perceived his grace would fain have done, of his true titles to some certain dukedoms, and generally to the crown and seat of France, derived from Edward, his great-grandfather.
What was the impediment that broke this off?
The French ambassador upon that instant craved audience, and the hour I think is come to give him hearing. Is it 4 o'clock?
It is.
Then go ye into No's embassy.
I'll wait upon you, and I long to hear it.
Where's my gracious lord of Canterbury?
Not here in presence.
Send for him.
Shall we call on the French ambassador, my liege?
Not yet. My cousin, we would be resolved before we hear him. Some things of weight that task our thoughts concerning us in France.
God and his angels guard your sacred throne and make you long become it.
Sure. We thank you. My learned lord, we pray you to proceed, and justly and religiously unfold why the law Salic that they have in France should or should not bar us in our claim, and God forbid, my dear and faithful lord, that you should fashion, rest, or bow your reading, or nicely charge your understanding soul with opening titles miscreant whose right suits not in native colours with the truth. For God doth know how many now in health shall drop their blood in approbation of what your reverence shall incite us to. Therefore take heed how you impon our person, how you awake our sleeping sword of war, we charge you in the name of God, take heed.
Then hear me, gracious sovereign, and you peers that owe yourselves your lives and services to this imperial throne. There is no bar to make against your highness' claim to France, but this which they produce from firmament. Intaram salica mulieres ne sucedon. No woman in Salic land shall succeed. Howbeit they would uphold this Salic law than to bar your highness claiming from the female, and rather choose to hide them in a net than amply to embar their crooked titles usurped from you and your progenitors.
May I with right and conscience make this claim?
The sin upon my head, dread sovereign, from the book of Numbers it is written.
Calling the messages sent from the Dauphin. Now we are well resolved, and by God's help, and yours, the noble sinews of our powers, France being ours, we will bend it to our awe, or break it all to pieces. Now we are well prepared to know the pleasure of our fair cousin Dauphin, for we hear your greeting is from him and not from the king.
May it please your majesty to give us leave freely to render what we have in charge, or shall we sparingly show you far-off the Dauphin's meaning and our embassy?
We are no tyrant, but a Christian king under whose grace our passion is as subject as the wretches fettered in our prisons. Therefore, with frank and uncurbed plainness, tell us the Dauphin's mind.
Thus then a few. Your highness lately sending into France declaims some certain dukedoms in the right of your great predecessor, King Edward III. In answer of which claims the prince our master says that you savor too much of your use, and bids you be advised there's not in France that can be with a nimble galliard one. You cannot revel into dukedoms there, he therefore sends you meter for your spirit this ton of treasure. And in lieu of this desires, you let the kingdoms that you claim hear no more of you. This the Dauphin speaks.
What treasure?
Tennis balls, my liege.
We are glad the Dauphin is so pleasant with us. His present and your pains we thank you for. When we have matched our rackets to these balls, we will in France, by God's grace, play a set, shall strike his father's crown into the hazard. Tell him he hath made a match with such a wrangler that all the courts of France will be disturbed with chases. But we understand him well, how he comes o'er us in our wilder days, not measuring what use we made of them. We never valued this poor seat of England, and therefore, living hence, did give ourselves to barbarous license, as 'tis ever common that men are merriest when they are far from home. But tell the Dauphin I will keep my state, be like a king, and show my sail of greatness when I do rouse me in my throne of France. For that I have laid by my majesty and plodded like a man for working days, but I will rise there so full of glory that I will dazzle all the eyes of France, yea, strike the Dauphin blind to look on us. And tell the pleasant prince that this mock of his hath turned his balls to gunstones, and his soul shall stand sore charged for the wasteful vengeance that shall fly with them. For many 1,000 widows shall this mock out of their dear husbands, mock mothers from their sons, mock castles down, and some are yet ungotten and unborn that shall have cause to curse the Dauphin's scorn. But this lies all within the will of God, to whom I do appeal and tell you, the Dauphin, I am coming. So get you hence in peace. And tell the Dauphin his jest will savour. But of shallow wit when thousands weep, more than did laugh at it, convey him with safe conduct. Fare you well.
This was a merry message.
We hope to make the sender blush at it. For we now have no thought in us but France. We'll chide this Dauphin at his father's door, therefore let every man now task his thought that this fair action may on foot be brought.
Well met, Corporal Nim!
Good morrow, Lieutenant Bardolph.
What? Ancient Pistol and you friends yet?
For my part, I cannot. I say little. But when time shall serve, there shall be smiles.
I will bestow a breakfast to make you friends, and we'll be all three sworn brothers to France. Let it be so, good Corporal Nim.
Faith. I will live so long as I may, and that is the certain of it. And when I cannot live any longer, I will do as I may. That is my rest. That is the rendezvous of it.
It is certain, Corporal, that he is married to Nell quickly, and certainly she did you wrong, for you were trothed like to her.
I cannot tell. Things must be as they may. Men may sleep and have their throats about them at that time. And some say knives have edges.
Here comes Ancient Pistol and his wife. Good Corporal, be patient here. How now, mine host, Pistol?
Base tight, coast down me host. By this hand I swear I scorn the term. And nor shall my Nell keep lodgers.
Good Lieutenant, good Corporal, offer nothing here.
Pish. Pish for thee, Iceland, dog. Oh, pricky-eared cur of Iceland.
Good Corporal Nim, show thy valor. Put up your sword.
Will you shug off? And I will have you soulless.
Soulless? Soulless, egregious dog. Oh, viper vile, the soulless in thy most marvellous face, the soulless in thy teeth, and in thy throat, and in thy hateful hands, ye in thy more purdy, and which is worse, within thy nasty mouth, I do retort the soulless in thy bowels, and flashing fire will follow.
I am not Barberson. You cannot conjure me. I have a humour to knock you indifferently well. If you go foul me, Pistol, I will score you with my rapier. As I may. In fair terms. If you walk off, I'll pick your guts a little. And that's the humour of it.
Oh, braggart vile, and damn furious right. The grave doth gape. Doting death it's near. Therefore, exhale. You won't get this. I'm gonna kill you.
Hear me, what I say. He that strikes the first stroke, I'll run him up to the hilt as I am a soldier.
In oath of mickle might, and fury shall abate, give me thy fist, and thy forefoot to give me. For thy spirits are most tall.
I will cut thy throat one time or another in fair terms, and that's the humour of it!
Couple gorge! That is the word! I thee defy again, you hound of Crete! Thinkest my spouse to get?
My name's Pistol. You must come to my master, and you hostess. He is very sick and would you bathe.
Away, you rogue!
The king has killed his art. Good husband, come home presently.
Come, shall I make you two friends? We must have friends together. Why the devil should we keep knives to cut one another's throats?
You'll pay me the 8 shillings I want at betting.
Base is the slave that pays.
That now I will have.
Corporal him, and thou wilt be friends. Be friends, and thou wilt not, why then, be enemies with me too. Prithee, put up.
Well then, that's the humour of it.
Come in quickly to Sir John. Poor heart, he's so shaked of a burning. Sweet men, come to him.
Now all the youth of England are on fire, and silken dalliance in the wardrobe lies. Now thrive the armourers, and honours that reign solely in the breast of every man. They sell the pasture now to buy the horse, following the mere of all Christian kings, with winged eagles as English Mercuries. For now stays expectation in the air, united sword from ills unto the points. Oh, England! Models like inward greatness, like little body with mighty art. What mightst thou do that honour would thee do, were all thy children kind and natural? But see thy fault, France hath in thee found out a nest of hollow bosoms, which he fills with treacherous crowns, and 3 corrupted souls. 1, Lady Earl of Cambridge, and the 2nd, Lady Scroop of Masham, and the 3rd, Madam Grey, Knight of Northumberland, have, for the guilt of France, guilt indeed, confirmed conspiracy with fearful France. The sum is paid the traitors are agreed. The king is set from London, and the scene is now transported, gentles, to Southampton.
For God, his grace is bold to trust these traitors.
They shall be apprehended by and by.
How smooth and even they do bear themselves, as if allegiance in their bosoms sat, crowned with faith and constant loyalty.
The king hath know of all that they intend, by interceptions they dream not of.
Nay, but she that was his bedfellow, whom he hath doled and cloyed with gracious favours, that she should, for a foreign purse, so sell his sovereign's life to death and treachery.
Now sits the wind fair, and we will aboard. My Lady Cambridge, my kind Lady Masham, and you. Give me your thoughts. Think you not the powers we bear within us will cut their passage through the force of France, doing the execution and the act, for which in ed we have assembled them?
No doubt, my liege, if each man do his best.
I doubt not that.
Never was monarch better feared and loved than is your majesty.
Very true.
We therefore have great cause of thankfulness.
So service shall with steeled sinews toil, and labour shall refresh itself with hope to do your grace incessant services.
We judge no less. Exeter enlarged the man committed yesterday that railed against our person. We consider it was excessive wine that set him on, and pardon him.
That's mercy, but too much security. Let him be punished, sovereign, lest example breed by his sufferance more of such a kind.
Oh, let us yet be merciful.
So may your highness, and yet punish too.
Sir, you show great mercy if you give him life, after the taste of much correction.
Alas, you too much love and care of me have your orisons against this poor wretch. If little faults proceeding on distemper shall not be winked at, how shall we stretch our eye when capital crimes, chewed, swallowed, and digested, appear before us? We'll yet set free that man, though Cambridge, Scroop, and in their dear care and tender preservation of our person would have him punished. Now for the French causes, who were the late commissioners?
I won, my lord. Your highness bade me ask for it today.
So did you me, my liege. And I, my royal sovereign?
Then, Lady Earl of Cambridge, there's yours. They're yours. Lady Scroop of Masham. And Madam Grey, Knight of Northumberland, the same is yours. Read them and know I know your worthiness. We will aboard tonight. Why, how now? What see you in those papers that you lose so much complexion? Look ye, how they change their cheeks of paper. Why would read you in there that hath so cowarded and chased your blood out of appearance?
I do confess my fault and do submit me to your highness's mercy.
To which we all appeal.
For mercy? Now as quick in us but late is by your own counsel suppressed and killed. You must not dare for shame talk of mercy. For your own reasons turn into your bosoms as dogs upon their masters, worrying you. See you, my princes and noble peers, these English monsters. But oh, what shall I say to thee? Thou cruel, ingrateful, savage, inhuman creature, thou that didst bear the key to all my counsels, that knew'st at the very bottom of my soul, wouldst thou have practised on me for thy use? Show men dutiful. Why, so didst thou seem they grave and learned. Why, so didst thou come they of noble family? Why, so didst thou seem they religious? Why, so didst thou?
I'm sorry, please, I didn't mean to.
Their faults are open. Arrest them to the answer of the law, and God quit them of their practices.
I arrest thee of high treason by name Earl of Cambridge. I arrest thee of high treason by name Lady Scroop of Masham. I arrest thee of high treason by name Madam Grey, Knight of Northumberland.
Our purposes God justly hath discovered, and I repent my fault more than my death, which I beseech your highness to forgive, although my body pay the price of it.
For me, the God of France did not seduce, although I did admit it as a motive, the sooner to effect what I intended.
But not my body, pardon, sovereign.
God quit you in his mercy. So get you therefore hence, you poor, miserable wretches, to your death, the taste whereof God of his mercy give you patience to endure, and true repentance of all your dear offences. Bear them hence! Now for France. Cheerly to see the signs of war advance, no king of England, if not king of France.
Prithee, Annie, sweet husband, let me bring thee to Staines.
No, for my manly heart doth yearn. Bardolph, be blithe. Nym, rouse thy vaunting veins. Boy, bristle thy courage up, and Falstaff he is dead. And we must yearn, therefore.
Would I were with him wheresoever he is, either in heaven or in hell.
Nay, sure, he's not in hell. He's in Arthur's bosom, if ever a man went to Arthur's bosom. I made a finer end, and went away it had been any christened child. He parted just between 12 and 1. Even at the turning of the tide, for after I saw him fumble with sheets and play with flowers and smile upon his fingers' end, I knew there was but one way. For his nose was as sharp as a pen, and he babbled of green fields. How now, Sir John, quoth I. What man? Be of good cheer. So he cried out, God, 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 3 or 4 times. Now I, to comfort him, bid him not think of God. I had hoped that there was no need to trouble himself with any such thoughts yet. So I bade me lay more close on his feet, and I put my hand into the bed, and they were as cold as any stone. And so I fell to his knees, and they were as cold as any stone, and so upward, and all was as cold as any stone.
They say he repented his drinking.
Aye, that he did.
And of women.
Nay, that he did not.
Aye, that he did, and said they were devils incarnate.
He did, in a way, and women.
Do you not remember? He saw fleece stick upon Bartol's nose, and he said it was a black shoal burning in hell for you.
Well, the fuel to maintain that fire is gone. That's all the riches I got in his service.
Shall we, Shog? The king will be gone from Southampton.
Come, let's away.
Farewell, hostess.
Adieu.
Let housewifery appear. Stay close. I thee command.
Farewell. Adieu.
Thus come the English with full power upon us. It fits us then to be as provident as fear may teach us out of late examples. Les épaules les Anglais fatales et négligés sont nos champs.
Mon très redoutable père, it is most meet we arm ourselves against the foe. For, mon bon souverain, she is so idly king, son sepsi fantastiquement porté by a vain, giddy, shallow, humorous youth that fear attends her not.
Ô paix Prestophin, vous vous trompez trop sur ce roi. Demandez-vous à votre grâce, les anciens ambassadeurs, avec quelle grandeur ils ont accueilli leur ambassade. Comment bien pour vous des nobles conseillers, comment modeste son exception, et comment redoutable dans cette constante résolution.
Well, 'tis not so. In cas de défense, is best to weigh the enemy more mighty than he seems.
Think we king are strong? Et prince, préparez-vous l'affronter avec force. Ce Parenti s'incarne sur nous, et il est issu de cette ligne signée sanglant anglais that haunted us in our familiar paths.
Les ambassadeurs d'Harry, roi d'Angleterre, implorent d'être admis au peu de votre majesté.
We'd give them present audience. Go and bring them.
Down, Ed, and stop pursuit. Mon cher souverain, take up the English sword and let them know of what a monarchy you are the head. L'amour propre n'est pas attaché à suivre que l'oubli de soi.
From our brother England.
From him, and thus he greets your majesty. He wills you in the name of Almighty God that you divest yourself and lay apart the borrowed glories that by gift of heaven, by law of nature and of nations, belong to him and to his heirs, namely, the crown. And when you find him evenly derived from his most famed of famous ancestors, Edward III, he bids you then resign your crown and kingdom indirectly held from him, the native and true challenger.
Or else what follows?
Bloody constraint. For if you hide the crown even in your heart, there he will rake for it. Therefore in fierce tempest is he coming, in thunder and an earthquake, like a Jove that, if requiring fail, he will compel. And bids you in the bowels of the Lord deliver up the crown and take to mercy on the poor souls for whom this hungry war opens its vasty jaws. And on your head, turning the widow's tears, the orphan's cries, the dead man's blood, the pining maiden's groans, for husbands, fathers, and betrothed lovers that shall be swallowed in this controversy. This is his claim, his threatening, and my message. Unless the dolphin be in presence here, to whom I expressly bring greeting to.
For us, we will consider of this further. Tomorrow shall you bear our full intent back to our brother, England.
For the Dauphin, I stand here for him. What to him from England?
Scorn and defiance, slight regard, contempt, and any other thing that may not miscome the mighty sender doth he prize you at. Thus says my king, And if your father's highness do not, and grant of all demands at large, sweeten the bitter mock you sent his majesty, he'll call you to so hot an answer of it that caves and wombly voltages of France shall chide in your trespass and return your mock in second assent of his ordinance.
Say, if my father and therefore return, it is against my will, for I desire nothing but odds with England. To that end, as matching to his youth and vanity, I did present him with the Paris ball.
He'll make your Paris Louvre shake for it.
Tomorrow you shall know our mind that full.
Dispatch us with all speed, lest that our king come here himself to question our delay. For he's footed in this land already.
You shall be soon dispatched with fair conditions. A knight is but small breadth and little pause to answer matters of this consequence.
Thus, with imagined wing, our swift scene flies, holding due course to our flow. Follow, and leave your England, for it is he whose chin is but ridged with one appearing air, who would not follow these cold and choice-drawn cavaliers to France. Work your thoughts, and therein see a siege. Behold the ordnance on our carriages, with fatal mouse gaping, girded off. Suppose the ambassador from the French comes back, tells Harry that the king doth offer him Catherine, his daughter, and with her to dowry some petty and unprofitable dukedoms. The offer likes not, and the nimble guy, with line stock now the devilish cannon touches, and down goes all before them. Still, be kind and eke out our performance with your mind.
Once more under the bridge, dear friends, once more, or close the wall up with our English dead in peace. There's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility, but when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of a tiger, stiffen the sinew, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favoured rage. Then lend the eye a terrible aspect, now set the teeth, stretch the nostril wide, hold on the breath, bend up every spirit to his full eye, on! You noblest English, dishonour not your mother. Now attest that those whom you called father did beget you. I seize you, like a greyhound in a slip, straining upon the start, the game's afoot. Follow your spirit, and upon this charge, cry God for Harry, England, and St. George!
On, to the breach, to the breach!
Pray thee, corporal, stay! The knocks are too hot. The played song is most just, for you must do a bound.
Knocks go and come, God's vessels drop and die. In sword and shield and bloody field doth win immortal fame.
But I were to our house in London, I'd give anything for Parvel and safety.
And I... if wishes won't prevail with me, my purpose should not fail with me. But fears of fools I have, as truly, but not as true as bird doth sing on bough. As truly, but not as true as bird doth sing on bough.
Up to the breach, you dogs, let's go!
Be merciful, just good great Duke. It's the men of God.
Abate thy rage! Abate thy manly
These be good humors, your honor! With the bad humor!
As young as I am, I've observed these three swashes. I employ to them all three, but all they three, though they should serve me, cannot be man to me. For indeed, through such antics do not amount to a man. For Bardolph, he is white-livered and red-faced, and by the means whereof faces it out, but fights not. For Pistol, he hath a killing tongue and quiet sword, and by the means whereof breaks word, but keeps sharp weapons. For Nim, he hath heard that men of few words are the best men, and therefore he scorns to say his prayers, lest he be thought a coward. But few bad words are matched with his few good deeds. I must leave them and seek some better service. Their villainy goes against my weak stomach, and therefore I must cast it up.
Ah, Captain Llewellyn, you must come presently to the mines. The Duke of Gloucester would speak with you.
Do the mines tell you the Duke is not so?
The Duke of Gloucester, to whom the order of the siege is given, is altogether directed by an Irishman, a very valiant lady, in faith.
It is Captain McMorris, is it not?
I think it is.
She's an ass. I say good day, Captain Llewellyn.
Put into your worship, good Captain James. Captain McMorris, I think, look you under your correction, there is not many of your nation.
Of my nation? What is my nation? Who talks of my nation?
If you take the matter, otherwise then is meant, Captain McMorris, being a good man as yourself, both in the disciplines.
I do not know ya. So good a person as myself.
Gentlemen, lady, you will mistake each other.
That's a foul fault.
The town sounds appalling.
Captain McMorris, when there is more better opportunity to be required, I will be so bold as to tell you I know the disciplines of war, and there is an end.
How yet resolves the governor of the town? I will not leave the half-achieved Harfleur till in her ashes she lie buried. Therefore, you men of Harfleur, take pity of your town and of your people. Whiles yet my soldiers are on my command, whiles yet the cool and temperate winds of grace o'erblow the filthy and contagious clouds of petty murder, spoil, and villainy. What say you? Will you yield, and this avoid, or guilty in defense, be thus destroyed?
Our expectation has this day or end. We yield our down in lives to the soft mercy. Open our gates, dispose of us an hour, for we are no longer defensible.
Open the gates. Come, Exeter, go you and enter Harfleur, there remain. Fortify it strongly against the French. Use mercy to them all. For us, the winter coming on, and sickness growing upon our soldiers, we will retire to Calais. Tonight in Harfleur, we will be your guest, and tomorrow, for the march, are we addressed?
Tu étais en Angleterre et tu parles bien le langage?
Un peu, madame.
Je te prie, m'enseigne, il faut que j'apprenne à parler. Comment appelez-vous la main en anglais?
La main? Elle est appelée de hand.
The hand. Et les doigts?
Les doigts? Ma foi, j'ai oublié les doigts. Mais je me souviendrai les doigts. Je pense que ça appelait des fingers. Oui, de fingers.
La main? The hand, les doigts, the fingers. Oui, j'ai gagné 2 mots d'anglais très vitement. Je pense que je suis un bon écolier. Comment appelez-vous les ongles?
Les ongles, nous les appelons de nails.
The nails. Écoutez, dites-moi si je parle bien. The hand, the fingers et the nails.
Si bien dit, mesdames et les frappes en anglais.
Comment appelez-vous le bras?
Des armes, madame.
Arme. Et the coude?
The elbow.
The elbow. Je vais faire la répétition de tous les mots que j'ai appris jusqu'à présent.
Il est trop difficile, madame, comme je pense.
Non, Alice, écoutez. The hand, the fingers, the nails, the arm et the elbow.
The elbow, madame.
Oh, Seigneur Dieu, the elbow. Comment appelez-vous le cou?
The neck, madame.
The neck. Et du menton?
The chin.
Du chin. Comment... Je vais faire la répétition de ce que j'ai appris. Comment appelez-vous le pied et la robe?
Des foot, madame. Des gowns.
Le foot et le gown, oh bon Dieu, ça c'est des mots gros et pudiques et non pour les dames d'honneur pour utiliser. Je ne voudrais jamais utiliser ces mots devant les seigneurs de France. Oh. Non, moi, je vais faire la répétition de tous les mots que j'ai appris jusqu'à présent. The hand,
oui.
The fingers, the nails, the arm, the elbow, the neck, du chin, le foot et le gown.
Excellente, madame.
C'est pour une fois. Allez-nous au dîner.
This certain years past I have a son.
And if he be not what we done, my lord, let us not live in France.
Oh Dieu vivant.
Prince, for your great seats now quit you of great shames. By every England that sweeps our land with the penals pitted in the blood of our floor. Bring him our prisoner.
This becomes the great. Sorry am I, his numbers are so few. His soldiers sick and famished in their march. For I am sure, when he shall see our army, he'll drop his art into the single field, and for achievement offer us his ransom.
Say to England that we send to know what willing ransom he will give. Prince Safari shall stay with us in Holland.
No, sir. I do beseech your majesty.
Be patient, for you shall remain with us. Now forth, Lord Constable, and press all, and quickly bring us word of England's fall.
Captain, I thee beseech to do me favours. The Duke of Exeter doth love thee well.
Aye, I have merited some love at her hands.
Bardolph, a soldier firm and sound of heart, with books and valour. By cruel fate and giddy fortune, furious fickle will.
By your patience, ancient Bristol.
Fortune is Bardolph's foe, and frowns upon him, for he hath stolen a pax, and hanged must be. A damned death. But the Duke will hear thy voice, and not let Bardolph's vital thread be cut. Speak, Captain, for his life. And therefore I will requite.
I do partly understand your meaning.
Why then rejoice, therefore?
Certainly it is not a thing to rejoice at. For if, look you, he were my brother, I would desire the Duke to use circular pleasure and put him to execution, for discipline not to be used.
Die! And be damned! Figo for thy friendship, then!
It is well.
The fig of Spain!
Very good.
Hey! This is an errant, counterfeit rascal! I remember him now. A bawd,
a cut purse.
I'll tell you what, Captain Gawr. I do perceive he is not the man that he would gladly make sure to the world he is. But if I find an hole in his coat, I will tell him my mind.
How now, Captain Llewellyn? Come astart from the bridge.
Aye, so please your majesty.
What men have you lost?
I think the Duke hath lost never a man, but one that is like to be executed for robbing a church. One, Bardolph, if your majesty know the man.
We would have all such offenders be so cut off. March to the bridge. Draws toward night, and on tomorrow bid we march away.
Dit have the best armor in the world. With it today.
You have an excellent armor, but let my horse have his due.
It is the best horse of Europe.
Will it never be morning?
My Lord of Orleans, my Lord of Constable, you talk of horse and amour?
You are as well provided of both as any prince in the world.
What a long night is this? I will not change my horse with any that tread but on 4 pasterns. He bounds from the earth as if his entrails were airs. La cheval volant, de Pegasus, chez les narines de feu. When I bestride him, I soar. I'm an hawk. He trots the earth sings when he touches it. The basis horn of his hoof is more musical than the pipe of Hermes.
Is the color of nutmeg.
It is a most absolute and excellent horse.
It is the Prince of Parfis. His neigh is like the beating of a monarch, and his countenance enforces homage.
No more cousin!
It is midnight. I'll go off with myself.
The Dufon longs for morning. He never did any harm that I heard of.
No, we'll do none tomorrow. He will keep that good name still. With it today. Alas, but Ari of England, he longs not for the dawning as we do. If the English had any apprehension, they would run away.
That they lack, for if they had any intellectual armor, they could never wear such heavy headpieces.
That island of England breeds very valiant creatures. The mastiffs are of unmatchable courage.
A foolish curse that one winking to the mouth of a Russian bear and have their heads crushed like rotten apples. You may as well say that's a valiant flea that dare eat this breakfast on the lip of a
The Zosos and the men do sympathize with the mastiffs in robustness and wrath coming on, leaving their weight with their wives, and then give them great meat of beef and iron and steel. They will eat like wolves and fight like devils.
Oui, but the English are shrewdly out of beef.
Then shall we fight tomorrow? They have only stomachs to eat and not to fight. Now, is it time to arm? Come, shall we about it?
It is now 2 o'clock, but let me see. By 10 we shall have 100 Englishmen.
Now entertain conjecture of time when creeping murmur and pouring dark fills the wide vessel of the universe. From camp to camp through the foul womb of night, the hum of either army stilly sounds the secret whispers of each other's watch. Behold, this may unworthiness define a little touch of Ari in the night. And so our scene must to the battle fly, where, oh for pity, we shall much disgrace with 4 or 5 most vile and ragged foils, right ill disposed in brawl ridiculous, the name of Agincourt. Yet sit and see, minding true things by what their mockeries be.
'Tis true that we are in great danger, the greater therefore our courage be.
Quave la.
A friend.
Discuss unto me, art thou an officer? Or art thou common, base, and popular?
I am a gentleman of the company.
Trailst the passant pack?
Even so, what are you?
As good a gentleman as the emperor.
Ah, then you're better than the king.
The king is a boar cook and a heart of gold, a lad of life and an imp of fame. Of parents good and fish the most valiant, I kiss his dirty shoe. From heartstrings I love the lovely bully. What is thy name?
Harry. Leroy.
Leroy! Now that's a Cornish name. Are you of Cornish crew?
No, I am a Welshman.
Do you know Llewellyn?
Yes.
Well, you tell him that I'll knock his leek on his paid upon St. David's Day.
Don't you wear your dagger in your cap lest he knock about yours that day.
Are you two friends?
And his kinsman too.
Well, figure for thee then.
Thank you. God be with you.
The name's Pistol. Cold.
Sorts well with your fierceness.
He may show what outward courage he will, but I believe as cool as his, he could wish himself in Thames into the neck, and so I would he were, and I by him, at all adventures, so we will quit here.
I think the king will not wish himself anywhere but where he is.
Then I would he were here alone, so that he may be sure to be ransomed, and many a poor man's life saved.
I dare say you love the king not so ill to wish him here alone. His cause being just, and his quarrel being honourable.
That's more than we know.
Aye, and more than we should seek after.
But the cause being not good, the king himself have a heavy reckoning to make. When all those legs and arms and heads chopped off in battle shall come together at the latter day and cry, oh, we died at such a place. Some swearing, some crying out for a surgeon, some upon their wives left poor behind, some upon the debts they owe, some upon their children rawly left. I am afeard there are few that die well that die in battle. For how can they cheerfully dispose of anything when blood is their argument?
I myself heard the king say he would not be ransomed.
Aye, he said so. So we might fight cheerfully. But when our throats are cut, he may be ransomed us never the wiser.
If I live to see it, I will never trust his word after.
You pay him then.
Your reproof is something too round.
Let it be war between us if you live.
I embrace it.
Shall I know thee again?
Give me any gauge of thine, and I will wear it in my bonnet. If thou darest ever acknowledge it, I will make it my coral.
Here's my glove. Give me another of thine.
Here.
This too I will wear in my cap. And if thou ever come to me after tomorrow and say, this is my glove, by this hand I will take a box on the ear.
If I ever live to see it, I will make it my challenge.
Keep thy word, fare thee well.
Be friends, you English fools, be friends. We have French quarrels enough.
My lord, your nobles, jealous of your absence, seek through your camp to find you.
Collect them all together at my tent. I'll be before thee. O God of battles, steal my soldiers' hearts from them. Possess them not with fear, take from them now the sense of reckoning if the opposed numbers pluck from their hearts. Not today, O Lord.
My liege.
I know thy errand. The day, my friends, in all things, stay for me.
To us, you gallant princess, straight to us. Do but behold your poor and starved band, and your fair show shall suck away their swords, leaving them but the shells and husks of men.
If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honour.
There is not work enough for all our ends, scarce blood enough in all their sickly veins to give each naked character axe a stain.
God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more, rather proclaim it through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. Whose passport shall be made and crowns for convoy put into his purse.
She's positive against all exception that our superfluous lackeys, who in unnecessary action swarm about our squares of battle, were enough to purge this field of such a yielding foe.
We will not die in that man's company that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispian.
What's to say? A very little let us do, and all is done.
He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when this day is named, and rouse him in the name of Crispian.
Then let the trumpet sound, for our ports shall so much dare their field that England shall couch down in fear and yield.
He that sees this day and lives to old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbours and say, tomorrow is St. Crispian's. Then will he strip his sleeves and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on Crispian's day. Old men forget. All will be forgot, but he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, be in their flowing cups, freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispian will ne'er go by. From this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy, few we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother.
Once more I come to know thee, King Harry. Before thy ransom thou wast now compound, before thy most assured overthrow. For certainly thou art so near the gulf, thy needs must be inglutted. Besides, in mercy, the constable desires these out of 3 minds thy followers, of repentance, that their souls may make a peaceful and a sweet retire. From off these far fields were wretches, their poor bodies must lie infested.
I pray thee bear my former answer back, then sell my bones and bid them achieve me good God. Why should they mock poor fellows thus? Let me speak proudly. Tell the Dauphin we are but warriors for the working day. Come thou no more for ransom, gentle herald, for they shall have none.
I shall, King Harry.
Soldiers, march away, and how thou pleased God, dispose the day. I was not angry till I came to France, until this said stand. Take a trumpet, herald. Ride thou unto the horsemen on yon hill. If they will fight us, bid them come down or void this field. They do offend our sight. If they will do neither, we will come to them. Comest thou again for ransom?
No, great king. I come to thee for charitable license that we may wander o'er this bloody field to look o'er our dead and to bury them.
I tell thee truly, herald, I know not if the day be ours or no, for yet a many of your horsemen peer and gallop o'er the field.
The day is yours.
Praise be to God, and not our own strength for it. What is the castle called that stands hard by?
They call it Agincourt.
Then this we call the field of Agincourt, fought on the day of Crispionus.
Now we bear the king towards Calais.
Grant him there.
There seen, heave him away upon your winged thoughts, athwart the sea.
Behold, the English beach pales in the flood with men, wives, and boys.
Whose shouts and claps outvoice deep Marseille, which, like a mighty whiffler, for the king seems to prepare sway.
So let him land, and solemnly see him set on to London.
So swift a pace hath thought that even now you may imagine him upon Blackie.
Well, that his lords desired him to have borne his bruised helmet and bended sword before him through the city.
He forbids it, being free from vainness and self-glorious pride, giving full trophy, signal and ostent, quite from himself to God.
But behold, in the quick thought and working house of thought, how London doth pour out her citizens. Now in London place him. The Emperor is coming on behalf of France to order peace within them and omit all the occurrences which ever chanced, till Harry's back return again to France.
There must we bring him, and your eyes advance, after your thoughts straight back again.
To France!
If you would the peace, then you must buy it with full accord to all our just demands.
The king hath heard him, to which yet there's no answer made.
Oh, then peace lies in his answer.
I have but with a crossway our glance your articles. Please at your grace to appoint some of your council to sit with us presently once more. With Patricia to survey them, we will suddenly pass or accept and peremptory answer.
We shall. Will you, fair sister, go with the princes, or stay here with us?
Our gracious brother, I will go with them. Aptly a woman's voice may do some good, when articles too nicely urged be stood on.
Yet leave our cousin Catherine here with us. She is our capital demand compromised within the 4 ranks of our articles.
She had good leave.
Fair Catherine, and most fair, wilt thou vouchsafe to teach a soldier terms and lend at a lady's ear for him to plead his love suit to her gentle heart?
Your Majesty shall mock me, I cannot speak your England.
Do you like me, Kate?
Pardonnez-moi, I cannot tell what is like me.
An angel is like you, Kate, and you are like an angel.
Oh, qu'est-ce que tu dis? Que je ressemble aux anges?
Oui, vraiment, ça ferait grâce aussi de Dieu.
I said so, dear Catherine, and I must not blush to affirm it.
Oh, bon Dieu, les langues des hommes sont pleines de tromperies.
What says she, fair one? That the tongues of men are full of deceit.
Oui, that the tongues of the men be full of deceit. That is the princess.
Oh, the princess is better than the Englishwoman. Faith, Kate, my wooing is fit for thy understanding, for I am glad thou canst speak no better English. For if thou couldst, thou wouldst find me such a plain king that thou wouldst have thought I had sold my farm to buy my crown.
Farm?
Moo!
Moo? Comment vache?
I know no ways to mince it in love, but directly to say that I love you. Then, if to urge me farther to say, do you with faith, I wear out my suit. And so, give me thy answer, clap hands and bargain. What say you, lady?
Sauf reteneur me understand well.
If thou would take such a one, take me. Take me, take a soldier, take a king. What then thou sayest to my love, and speak my fair, and fairly I pray thee.
Is it possible that I should love the enemy of France?
No. It is not possible that you should love the enemy of France, but in loving me, you should love the friend of France. For I love France so well that I will not part with a village of it. I will have it, Kate, all mine. And when mine is France, then I am yours, and you are mine, and yours is France.
I cannot tell what is that.
No, Kate? Then I will tell thee in French. Je compte de les possessions de France. It is as easy for me to conquer the kingdom as it is to speak so much more French. I will never thee again in French unless it be to laugh at me.
Your Majesty of forcé enough French to deceive the most sage demoiselle that is in France.
Now fie upon my false French, and by mine true honor, in true English, I love thee, Kate. Therefore, Queen of all, Catherine, break thy mind to me in broken English, wilt thou have me?
Shall it please the roi mon père?
Nay, it will please him well, Kate. It shall please him, Kate.
Then it shall also content me.
And then upon that, I kiss your hand and I call you my queen.
C'est pas la coutume de France, je ne comprends pas, on fait pas ça ici!
Madame, my interpreter, what says she?
That is not be the fashion book, the ladies of France, qui ne tell pas
To kiss!
Your Majesty, entendez peut-être?
That it is not custom for the maids of France to kiss before they are married, would she say?
Oui, vraiment! Oh, bon Dieu!
You have witchcraft in your lips, Kate.
Pardonnez-moi, witch! Dis ça encore!
More eloquence in them than all the tongues of the French council.
Non, je ne comprends pas, on fait pas...
Here comes your father.
We have consented to all terms of reason.
Oh. So, my lords of England.
The king hath granted every article. His daughter first, and then in sequel.
Take care, fair son. And from her blood raise up issue to me, that the contending kingdoms of France and England, whose very shores look pale with envy upon each other's happiness, may cease their hatred, and this dear conjunction plants neighborhood, and Christian like a crowd in their sweet bosoms, that never war advance his bleeding sword twixt England and fair France. Amen.
Amen.
Prepare we for our marriage, and I swear to Kate, and you to me, and may our oaths well kept, and prosperous
be.
Thus far, with rough and all unable pen, our bending author hath pursued the story in little room confining mighty men, mangling for starts the full course of their glory. Small time, but in that small most greatly lived this star of England. Henry VI, an infant man's crowned king of France and England, did this king succeed, whose states so many had the managing, that they lost France and made England bleed, which oft our stage hath shown, and for their sake, in your fair minds, with this acceptance, take.